Aloha, everyone. I'm Malika Dudley. I'm here with Katie. She is I'm going to let you say it because your title is very long.
The Coalition Coordinator for the Coalition for Tobacco-Free Hawai'i for Maui County.
All right. So there's a lot to dig into with this issue. Now, the biggest problem is this vaping epidemic. We had a news story come out recently where some serious concerns have been brought up. So where do we even start with this? I don't even know where to start.
Recently we have, actually this morning, the new numbers are 805 lung illnesses that are being reported by the CDC across the country, 13 confirmed deaths. They don't know what exactly is causing these illnesses and deaths, and that's the scary part. They just know that all of these people are vaping. There's some people are vaping THC, some are only vaping nicotine products, and there's nothing consistent that they can tell consumers at this point. So they really are recommending everyone to just stop vaping. But our biggest concern is how many children are vaping, especially here in Hawaii and here in Maui County. 33% of our high school students are vaping in Maui County.
That sounds like an epidemic.
Yes, that's what we're calling it. That's what the CDC has actually named this. So we're treating it as such. And that's why we want to bring the community together on this issue and get people involved and see some regulations passed.
So why don't we talk about the issue itself? Why are kids picking up these vape pens?
It's a good question. It seems like the industry is taking the playbook from tobacco industry and is applying the same methods with advertising and appealing to kids. So flavors are a draw. We know that 8 out of 10 youth choose to use tobacco products because of flavors. And we know that 97% of youth that are vaping are using flavored products. Marketing and advertising are done very similarly to what we saw with tobacco in the 90s. And so it's working. We've got a lot of kids that are appealed to by this industry, and far more kids are actually using these products now than adults. Only about 5%, less than 5% of adults in Hawaii are vaping, whereas almost 30% statewide, 26% are vaping.
I'm speechless with all of these numbers. Gosh, and they look so cute too. You know, cigarettes, they looked cool for a while, and now, you know, I think that stereotype has passed and it's no longer cool to smoke cigarettes. But these vape pens and these vape things, you know, they're so small and discreet. So how does a school even begin to...
It's tricky. I mean, when they first came out, they were bigger devices. They blew huge clouds, and so that was appealing in its own way as a hobby. But they weren't discreet. And now with this new generation of devices, kids can pocket them. They can hold them up their sleeves. They look like USB drives. They look like cell phones or small electronics. And parents, educators, they have a hard time seeing them, smelling them. You don't see the aerosol as much anymore. So it's much easier to sneak, which, you know, the industry is adapting to what the kids want and need in order to be able to continue this habit, which is terrifying. So the schools are really struggling right now and trying to figure out what to do. And, you know, the kids are being targeted by the industry is how we look at this as we don't want to necessarily penalize the kids because they are being targeted by the industry and becoming addicted to high nicotine levels within these products. So we really want to address the issue upstream and come up with some regulations around vaping that would hold the industry accountable for these numbers that we're seeing.
All right, we've got a symposium coming up. What day is it? Where is it located? And what are you going to be talking about?
It's going to be October 11th at Kamehameha Schools Maui in the elementary school dining hall. We're going to have Bonnie Halpern-Felcher from Stanford University. She's a professor of adolescent medicine, and she studies adolescent behaviors and addiction. So she knows a lot about vaping and why kids are vaping and what we can do about it. She'll be our keynote that night, and then we'll have Trish Lachica, our policy and advocacy director from the Hawaii Public Health Institute, and Kevin Ramirez with the 808 No Vape campaign. So they'll be there to speak about what's going on more locally and how we can all get involved with the legislature and pass some regulations around this coming session. We'll also have Q&A and panelists from all across the community, including Maui Police Department, educators, Department of Health, so people can come and bring their questions.
Awesome. And there's limited seating for this event, so go to our website, mauinow.com, for all the details on finding out more about this vaping epidemic, and also how you can get to this event and reserve your spot. Thank you so much, Katie, for sharing. This is really concerning. We're both parents, so it puts tears in my eyes to think about this for my children. Ours are still young, but when they get to be teenagers and that peer pressure and
yeah, it's terrifying, and we need to do something about it 5 years ago, so definitely now it's time.
all right.
Thank you.
Ahui ho.